How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for some more Escape from Tarkov task videos. Today I'm going to be talking about how I completed the task Athlete from Therapist. Now this is also could be applied to Healthcare Privacy Part 4 as well, because you need to level up your health skill. Healthcare Privacy Part 4 requires you to get level 7 health, and Athlete requires you to get level 12. Now, the Athlete's reward is actually pretty decent. You get over 100,000 rubles, and you unlock the ability to purchase an adrenaline injector. This stim will temporarily increase your strength, endurance, and mag drilling skills. Now, when it comes to doing skill-based missions, there's two ways you can go about doing it. Just playing out your raids normally and hoping that eventually you will gather enough experience to actually complete these missions. Depending on your playstyle, that means that it's highly unlikely that you will actually be able to get this skill level in order to complete this. Or you can focus directly on actually leveling up your health skill while focusing on doing other things like PvP or making money or just playing Tarkov normally, while also actively leveling up the skill required for the mission. So it has been a little while since I've done any skill-based videos for good reason, but because we need to actually do some tasks surrounding the health skill, I'm going to talk a little bit about today on how you can actually farm some health experience in the most efficient way while also completing your raids. So there are three primary ways that you can contribute points to health skill: leveling vitality, leveling endurance, and leveling strength. And luckily, you can do all three at the same time without actually changing your playstyle that much. Now, I calculated some points just writing some things down on a piece of paper, and I don't have access to the actual statistics on the back end. So some things might be a little bit off and a little bit rough, but you're going to get the general idea of what you'll be able to expect. So I'm going to start off by talking about endurance. This skill is rather simple. Basically, whenever you run from full stam to zero stam, you gain about 0.15 total experience. About 22% is contributed to health. So that means you're going to be getting 0.033 per full run to health skill. Now, obviously, this varies on your total endurance level, what stims you're using, what armor you're using, and your movement speed and distance traveled. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to this, but in general, expect 0.033 for each full run. Now let's talk about strength, everybody's favorite skill, probably one of the most controversial skills in the entire game. Now there's quite the variety of ways to actually contribute to strength points, but I'm only going to be specifically talking about the most efficient. So the big one being overweight. So to put it simply, in the lower left corner of your inventory screen, you're going to be seeing a total weight limit. If you are carrying gear more than the total allowed weight limit, you are going to be slowly contributing points to strength. Now, you really only gain strength experience whenever you're walking around the world, not running, because remember, running contributes to endurance. So walking around in raid, you gain about 1.3 soft skill points of strength for every 5 minutes of walking, and you gain 0.3 soft skill points in health for 5 minutes of walking. That turns out to be about 0.26 a minute for strength and 0.06 for health. The next contributing factor from strength to health is throwing grenades. Now, for each grenade that you throw, you're going to gain roughly 0.1 experience for strength and 0.033 for health. Now, it is important to remember that there actually isn't any diminishing returns anymore, so you can throw as many grenades as you want in your raid. So going to Terror Group Labs and killing Scav Raiders to throw their grenades for health is not a bad idea, and when you hear about vitality, you might consider doing that even more. So vitality, this one is a little ambiguous and can be a little difficult to capture the exact rates, so I might be wrong here. So these are sort of general given the tests that I've done with scavs shooting me, but you gain vitality experience in three different ways. The first one is whenever you blackened a limb, which should give you around 0.4 soft skill experience per blackened limb. Also, the stomach seemed to only contribute 0.2 whenever I blackened a stomach, and roughly 0.1 of that will be going to health. The same can be said whenever a bleed is open. So if you're running around, you're getting shot, you open up a bleed, it gives you about 0.15 vitality, which is roughly 0.033 health. Now, I also noticed that whenever I took gunshot damage, I also gained vitality, but not stress resistance. So stress resistance is usually pain damage. Gunshot damage must be measured separately because I didn't blacken a limb and I didn't open a bleed, but I still gained a little vitality. It's difficult to measure, so just know whenever you get shot and take damage, you are slowly also contributing to vitality. So now that you know how you gain health experience, now I'm going to talk about my strategy on how I reached level 12. So from levels 0 up until 11.5, all I really did was made sure I was overweight every single raid. Now I did this by taking in a heavy weapon, body armor, a helmet, a chest rig, a backpack, and I would supplement any additional weight that I needed with ammo inside of an ammo case in my gamma container. I would fill up that ammo case with some buckshot and ammo that I actually need to use for my guns to make sure that I'm always overweight. It doesn't matter how you become overweight. You could do it with a dox bag and maps, or just carrying extra guns and equipment or heavy armor. The fact is, as long as you're overweight every single raid, then you will be slowly contributing whenever you are walking around. I also made sure that if I ever got the opportunity, I would do full sprints. So I would gain that health experience on the full sprint, and then while I'm walking, regenerating my stam, I'm also getting health. So both activities are doing that. And I was also throwing as many grenades as I possibly could, even sometimes bringing 10 or more grenades per raid. Now, on the final day, whenever I was 11.5 to 0.12, I amped it up. I started off the day by bringing in full backpacks of Zaryas and completing my raids after throwing all the grenades. And for the final 30 points, I started killing myself with grenades. So I really wanted to finish this task. I've been working on it slowly for the past couple weeks. I would typically play Tarkov for about 5 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I would only gain about 11.5 health points by the end of each session, even making sure that I'm running and being overweight. So it's going to take a very long time if you're not dying a lot to complete this mission. If you're going out there to actively get shot, well, you're probably going to have some success. So after spending over 5 million rubles on grenades and throwing them in countless raids, I was making progress, but it was rather slow. I decided to change my strategy a little bit because instead of just going for endurance and strength, it was time to do strength and vitality. So that means intentionally damaging yourself while also throwing grenades to get the maximum amount of soft skill points per raid. And what I'm about to tell you is probably the fastest way of gaining health experience besides getting some dude in your raid, a buddy, to specifically shoot each one of your limbs and body parts while you actively heal. It isn't as cheesy as that, but it's still a little bit cheese. So you can either just not even do this, but I'm talking about guys that are interested. What is the fastest possible way to gain health experience without breaking any rules? So if you bring in 11 Zaryas and 1 frag grenade, you throw each of those Zaryas and then blow yourself up with a grenade, you get 0.9 total health experience each raid. So if you queue into something like labs, you can get 0.9 experience every few minutes. It is by far the most efficient way to level. I only recommend that you do this if you're in the final stretch. Like, I only considered doing this when I was about 30 soft skill points away. So that means, yeah, I did actually get myself killed 30 times with grenades. For the rest of the way, I just did as much as I possibly could to actually level up my health, because this is a very expensive method of leveling health. So not everybody has 5-6 million rubles lying around. It's going to cost you a lot of money. An alternate strategy would be to play labs and play labs nonstop, because you're going to be getting a lot of grenades from killing scav raiders, and you're going to be taking a lot of damage from other players and the scav raiders themselves. So either throw a bunch of grenades and kill yourself, or play a lot of labs and play super aggressive and very risky and don't care if you die. Both is going to cost you a lot of rubles. You just kind of have to pick your poison. That is the fastest way to get health experience, whether or not you like it or not. Now, Athlete was the last mission that I had to complete in the game, and I highly suspect it's going to be the vast majority of people playing the game, because it really comes down to how much time you invest into Escape from Tarkov, and not everybody can play as much as somebody who streams this game for a living like myself. So it's going to be a grind, it's going to be tough, and I don't know if everybody will be able to make it, but at least now you know how to level your health in the most efficient way possible, and you can create your own strategy, maybe even start focusing on it right at the start of a wipe so you can get there whenever you're nearly ready to accept the mission to begin with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helps you. Good luck on your health skill grind, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more Escape from Tarkov gameplay and guides, and check out the daily live streams every single morning starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes! We did it! GG, fellas! We beat the game! It's over! We did it, Reddit! Yo, time! Somebody give a time check.